So a question I get pretty often from beginners at least is, should I learn on an acoustic or should I learn on an electric guitar? And if you want the quick answer, I would say go by the type of music you listen to and the type you want to play. If you want to play rock music, buy an electric guitar. If you want to play, country music, go with an acoustic. But there is a lot of things to consider, of course, between them. Like, for example, an acoustic is going to be self-efficient. Like, it has the sound hole, you don't need to plug it in or anything. Where an electric, you're going to need electricity to run the amplifier. You're going to need an amplifier, and you're going to need a cable to connect the guitar to the amplifier. So, those are some things to consider. Another thing to consider is how easy do you want it to be? Because electric guitars are easier to play than acoustics, though you might really like acoustic. One thing you can do is you can get a lighter gauge of strings for acoustic guitar that's made more for like finger picking, that kind of thing. But, it does make the guitar a little easier to play. Now, if you want even easier, I recommend a classical guitar because it's got those soft nylon strings. And I'll recommend them to a lot of kids and things like that. I personally also love the sound of them, just like that soft, warm sound. But that's one route you could go if you want like an even easier option, though they do have those like thicker necks, so it's a bit more stretching, but it is a little easier on the fingers. If you're using price as a factor, like you want the cheaper guitar, honestly, if you look for a good deal, you'll find them for about the same price, honestly. I've played some guitars that just sound fantastic for a pretty good price in both electric and acoustic. So I wouldn't necessarily use pricing as like your gauge for should I get this or should I get that. And if a guitar is too cheap, you probably shouldn't buy it anyway. You want to at least have like an okay guitar, so you stick to like a main brand or something as a first guitar. But the one thing that could kind of raise the price a little bit is the price of like an amplifier or cable, accessories for the electric. But sometimes you can get like a pack where you get the guitar, the amplifier, the cable. Now, of course, they're not going to be the highest quality, but they're enough to get started usually with like at least a name brand like, Squier or Ibanez, something like that. Though if you're really torn between the two, I would say do a steel string acoustic because they are more difficult to play and it's going to build your strength up. So I'll tell a lot of beginners, practice on a steel string acoustic if they have it, even if they're playing like rock music or something, because it's going to build that finger strength up and that dexterity and flexibility and all that. It's easier to transition from a steel string acoustic to an electric guitar than the other way around. You'll find that, especially if you're always playing electric and then somebody hands you a steel string acoustic with like heavier strings or something, like they just happen to have heavy strings on it, you're going to find it really difficult to play. But if you're used to steel string acoustic already, at least with medium strings, when you pick up anybody's electric, generally you're going to find it way easier to play. Hopefully those quick little tips helped you with making a decision if you just weren't sure what guitar to get and you're just starting out. If you have additional questions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to get to them. Now go out there, have fun, and just enjoy playing.